Hi guys, today in math we are going to learn how do I multiply by multiples of 10, 100, and 1000. Yesterday you learned how to multiply by 10, 100, and 1000. Today we're going to learn how whenever it is not a 10 but a multiple of 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40, same way with 100 or 200 or 300, same with 1000, 2000, and 3000. You know from yesterday that if 4 times 1 is 4, that means 4 times 10 is 40, 4 times 100 is 400, 4 times 1000 is 4000. So we're going to use what we know. If we know that 3 times 2 is 6, that's a basic fact I already know, then that means that I should probably know 3 times 20. Okay, I'm going to think of it as 3 times 2 tens equals 6 tens. So I just used my basic fact of 3 times 2 and then added to the tens. So I had 6 tens. And I know that 6 tens is 60. So 3 times 20 is 60. Again, I'm going to use what I know. Okay. I know 3 times 2 is 6. So what is 3 times 200? I can rewrite it as 3 times 2 hundreds. I'm going to use my basic fact, the 3 times 2, and I get a 6, and it's hundreds. So 3 times 200 is 6 hundreds. Let's try another one using the same basic fact. I know that 3 times 2 is 6. So what is 3 times 2000? Remember, we're going to use our basic fact, 3 times 2, and we write thousands. So 3 times 2 thousands is 6 thousands. So 3 times 2000 is 6,000. Let's look at what we notice. This is very similar to our pattern from yesterday. If you notice, you can see our basic fact, the 3 times 2, in every problem. And the answer is 6 to that basic fact in every answer. Then I just have to look at what am I multiplying by? I'm multiplying by tens, so that 6 needs to be in the tens place. So I have to add a 0. So if you notice, the 20 has 1 0, so my answer needs to have 1 0, so it gets in the tens place. If you notice, my 2 is in the hundreds place, so I need to add 2 zeros, just like 200 has, to get my 6 in the hundreds place. Notice at 2000, I have 3 zeros. So when I do my basic fact, 3 times 2, I get 6. And then I need 3 zeros, so my 6 is in the thousands place. If you notice, you see my basic fact every time and the answer. The basic fact, and then the answer. So let's do some practice together. If I know that 4 times 3 is 12, what is 4 times 30? Well, I want you to think, what is your basic fact as 4 times 3 is 12? Well, I have 1 0 in my problem, and the 3 is in the tens place. So I need to have 1 0 in my answer. So I'm going to do my basic fact and then 1 0. Notice you can see my basic fact right here and right here. Let's do another example. 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, that's my basic fact, what I already know. So what is 3 times 50? Well, I know that 3 times 5 is 15 with another 0. So my answer is 150. See the answer to my basic fact right here? Now remember that 8 times 2 is 16. Remember, that's just a double that we learned the other day. So what is 8 times 200? I can see my basic fact. I know the answer to my basic fact, and I'm in the hundreds. Okay, so my answer is 1600, but we say 1,600. Notice I have 2 zeros in my problem, and I have 2 zeros in my answer. Let's do another one. So 6 times 5 equals 30. This is a tricky one because I already have a 0 in my basic fact answer. But watch what happens. What is 6 times 500? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my basic fact. 6 times 5 is 30, Then I'm going to add on 2 more zeros. So watch what happens. So I have 30 and then 2 more zeros because those 2 zeros are in the problem. The zero, this zero goes with the 30 of your basic fact. Let's do it a little bit different. What if we're missing one of our factors? This number that you multiply is called a factor. So I am wondering, what does 6 times blank, 6 times what equals 21? I know my basic fact, so I know that 6 times 3 equals 21. So if I know that, 7 times 3 equals 21. So if 7 times what equals 210? Notice I have a 0 here, and I can see that basic fact that 7 times blank equals 21, just like in my basic fact. So I know a 3 has to go here, but it just can't be a 3 because I have an extra 0. So 7 times 30, this problem has to have a 0 in it. 7 times 30 is 210. Let's do another one. So 4 times blank equals 32. I know that 4 times 8 equals 32. So what is 4 times blank equals 3,200? I want you to look. There are 2 zeros back here. If you notice, I can see my problem. 4 times 8 equals 32. That means 4 times 8 equals 32 right here. But I have 2 zeros back here, so I have to have 2 zeros in my problem. So 4 times 800 equals 3,200. Today, you are going to do boom cards for your practice. Some you will need to put in the answer, some you will need to fill in the number that you have to multiply to get the answer. Remember to keep track of the zeros in the problem and in the answer.